What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Pin the Gas podcast. This time, we have an extra host with us today, but first, let me go ahead and introduce my man, ANDELLIX, Andy Rowe. Andy, say what's up to the people, bro.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
What's good? Oh, and we have a nickname for our boy here that Andy subconsciously made up, and I had no clue that he made this up. And his name is Kris, the show, Simko. What is good? What do you think?
What's happening, fellas? I think it's great.
The show, right?
Yeah.
Now, Andy doesn't remember that he came up with that last night.
Andy. Andy.
Oh my God. How do you not remember making the most epic nickname the show has ever seen?
You were drunk a couple times, and I had missed things a couple times, and the night was long, and stuff.
And we were having fun,
We was. Now, gentlemen, so we wanted to do a rundown of what happened in Catalunya. Does anybody want to have an opening statement?
I mean, besides Fabio stealing the show, on Sunday, I mean, and ANDELLIX having a total meltdown and
total meltdown.
I mean, that was the most exciting parts of the show, I believe.
What? Alicia Spargo crying in the corner?
Yeah.
How do you
win?
Didn't he say that someone got his pit board messed up and told him that it was the last lap when it really wasn't? Is that true?
There was some confusion online talking about some things like that the pit board numbers were off, but nothing ever got confirmed. This happened, right, Kris? This happened before.
It did. I heard that they were in the garage one at Catalunya, which is really hard to see coming out of the last corner, and that at Catalunya is one of the only races where it actually counts down to 0 to be your last lap, not 1. And he got confused by that, and he thought it was the last lap when it really wasn't. So that's what happened.
Who counts laps like that, though? I've never heard anything like that.
It's something in Catalunya that they do. So
that's strange to me. I do feel bad because he was actually my pick for the rider of the weekend till that happened. Well, with that being said, before we get into the results, did you guys see something in another rider who probably hasn't hit podium that you thought was the rider of the weekend?
Enea Bastianini, 100%.
Beast. Why is that?
Because Enea's been on fire. I mean, he's a rookie. He don't have no high pressure on him. He's in a great team on a winning, proven motorcycle, and he has got the raw talent to get it done. He was in my fantasy league pick, and yeah, obviously he
got to get into that.
Yeah, absolutely, will. Absolutely. So for me, Enea Bastianini, but my rider that I had really a lot of high hopes for this weekend too was Jorge Martin.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he fulfilled that space, to be honest with you. Martin raced a really good race. He was very consistent. He had the pace. Thank God he didn't crash, because my goodness, he's been having a crap season thus far.
His season started out really well, podiums and a win. And I think his arm issues been causing him a lot of trouble where it's been going numb. And for him to get the result he did just speaks volumes of his talent.
Yeah.
And Kris, he took care of that. He had surgery after the race.
Yep.
He did.
And apparently he'll be on tip-top shape when it comes to Sachsenring next. Andy, did you have a pick for rider of the weekend? Was there somebody that kind of just caught your eye besides the ones who hit podium?
No, I mean
Rins.
This weekend kind of crazy. The accident and everything, but the Taka slow-mo was kind of crazy, man, to watch.
It was very crazy. He's fortunate that it ended up the way it did, because it could have been much worse.
It could have been a lot.
Thank God everybody was all right. If you saw it in slow motion when he hit Pecco's bike, it's like he face planted Pecco's rear tire, right? Or
it did. Yeah,
it looked like it. Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
his face shield flew off. Yeah, it was crazy.
And that's the scary part.
When his head impact the back wheel, you can see his helmet jolt in his head. Probably pressure on the strap. Because on pictures from the hospital, he had a really big bandage on his chin
because of the Velcro, because of the strap, the pressure of the strap. Yeah,
probably did a little dance on his head. I mean, the crash was really scary. It was. I mean, it could have, like Kris said, it could have been a lot worse. Thank God that
everyone's okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, they got Taka's okay, but he definitely needs that penalty for next race. Kris, you said something earlier about like what you think should, because I don't think there was an official release on what the penalty is going to be like for Taka from here, right?
Right. No, not yet. But I personally believe that Taka should be suspended for at least one race and start on the back of the grid for the next couple for sure.
Yikes! Because that was a pretty bad, nasty fallout.
It was, you know, and on top of that, you know, Taka's under a lot of pressure, right? Because he's getting ready to lose his ride. But at the same time, you know, he's like Alex Marquez, man. He don't deserve the spot.
Yeah. I mean, did Alex podium when he was on that Repsol Honda?
He did once. So,
right? I think, yeah.
Already he's better than Taka.
That's what I'm saying. But we all know it's only Mark that can ride that bike.
Hey, Kris, but isn't that kid from Moto2 Agura taking
I agree.
Nakagami and Idemitsu?
I'm almost positive that yes, he is going to take over Taka's spot for sure.
I'd say so. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and I also heard that Raul Fernandez is going to World Superbike.
Huh? Whoa! Back up the train here.
Yeah,
because the show.
Well,
explain.
We have a little. There's some news developed today. I guess Paul Espargaro decided to go back to KTM, or maybe there's a contract play. Yeah, but to Tech 3.
So Kris, funny you brought up the whole Raul going to the World Superbike thing. And Andy could probably agree with me on this, is that they didn't give these rookies a chance, yo. Like what is this?
1 year contract. Your contracts to all.
That's insane. That's kind of unfair.
I agree. It's totally unfair, because how can you expect a rookie to come in and prosper and develop when you're under such immense pressure, and then you're out of the game in less than 4 months, because they've already made up their mind by then, right?
Right, exactly.
That's the issue I see in MotoGP a lot of time. You know, they have rookies come in, and then the next year they're gone. You know, I think if you stick with them and learn to develop them, they'd be better riders.
I agree with that, and it's sad to see that happen to someone who's incredibly talented in Moto2, but never really got the chance to show it in MotoGP. That hurts, man. Like that has to just kill your morale. Unless there was like some sort of agreement with Raul, maybe he saw this coming. I don't know, but this has to hurt as your morale as a rider. Like, you worked all your life to get to the pinnacle of motorcycle racing, and then just all of a sudden just have the rug pulled out from under you.
Jules, but motorcycle racing is cutthroat like that.
It's like Formula One in a way. I think Formula One's a little bit worse though.
It is super cutthroat, but you guys got to also remember, man, at the beginning when he first went to MotoGP, he didn't want to go to MotoGP with KTM from the get-go. He wanted to go with Yamaha, and he made that very clear.
That's very true.
And now you're stuck on a team that you don't even want to be with. So imagine the type of vibes that's going on inside that garage every weekend when you show up.
Good point.
Right?
That doesn't even want to.
So
what's up, Andy?
I wouldn't want to be there.
Miguel Oliveira doesn't want to be there.
No.
No.
He doesn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, he's looking to go to Gresini Ducati.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Gresini Ducati. Which leads, where is Enea Bastianini going to go?
That's what I'm saying. And I see factory red.
I do too.
I don't think for Lenovo that's 100% a great decision, because, and I think we all agree with this, Enea is doing wonders with that Gresini bike, and I feel like he should stay there instead of messing up the chemistry between, because I feel like Lenovo has fully acknowledged Pecco as their poster boy, right? So you bring in Bastianini into the mix, we're going to see another Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. We're going to see another Valentino Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo. I feel like it's going to be a fight to be the top Ducati rider, and I don't think the Beast is going to take that lightly. Jack Miller was a team player. We can all agree with that. Everybody loves Jack Miller. The paddock loves Jack Miller. But if you bring the Beast in here, he's going to be like, whoa. Yo, I want this to be my team. Why are you guys investing in Pecco? This shit is mine right here. That's how I see it.
Well, you got Italian, also
yeah.
two Italian guys fighting it out. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to play nice.
No, I don't either. I think that Enea Bastianini would better prosper for one more year on the Gresini team, just because of the high immense pressure goes along with being in a factory, especially the Ducati team, which we all know in the history has been super cutthroat.
Very.
So if you're in an atmosphere on a winning bike and you're happy and you're winning and you're having fun, I don't see any reason to change. Exactly. Jorge Martin really wants that ride too. I think Jorge Martin, and I've said this previously, has a more raw talent than Bastianini, but I think Bastianini's a more well-rounded rider and has a more level head when it comes to rider. What I mean by that is Bastianini's more kind of like Stoner. He can go out and put in these miraculously fast laps, but not consistently, right? And be inconsistent, where Bastianini will come in and he won't be just as fast from the start, but he saves his tire really well, and he's a rookie. He's already won 3 races.
And he doesn't complain. Like he doesn't sit there if the race doesn't go his way. He doesn't complain. He doesn't bitch and moan. He's just like, you know what, man, we'll get him next week.
That's it. We'll get it next week.
That's what Jack Miller said. Jack Miller said, "Hey, he's Italian. He already won 3 races. What else do you want?"
I mean, I like Jack Miller. He speaks in the POV of us. He's like, you guys read the reports. You guys know the chemistry here. Like, I ain't got to put on a face to save myself. You know what I mean?
I do. I love Jack Miller too myself, honestly, and I think he's going to shine at KTM. To be honest, that's just my opinion.
Exactly, and I wanted to ask you guys that. So, Chris, you say he's going to shine. Andy, what do you think? Shaking his hands there. Nah.
I don't. I'm not 100% sure that the Jack Miller and KTM bondage is going to work. Only because we have Johann Sarko and KTM. He had issues. Miguel Oliveira is searching to move into Gresini Ducati, so obviously he's also uncomfortable in KTM. And I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. But the connection between the sponsorship is awesome. That I have to give it to him. And that's also where he started. So he's doing the whole circle back again.
I think I agree with Chris that I think he's going to prosper. Only because if you look at how Brad Binder is riding this bike with the crap ton of upgrades I don't want to say upgrades, but like add-ons every race that KTM is doing, and Brad Binder's like, okay, I guess we'll just run with this bike. I feel like Jack Miller would have that same mentality, and would I see podiums? Not really, but I will not say that he's gonna do terrible. I think he's gonna give Jack Miller is going to help give KTM some good feedback. I think they'll learn a lot from him. And I even think Jack Miller and Brad Binder are boys, right? So, like,
I agree with you. I think that that Jack Miller will do great in KTM, but it won't be right away.
Podiums. I don't see any podiums, to be honest.
It'll take time. It'll take time.
Yeah, I think he'll eventually podium. I think that KTM needs to slow their development down, like Aprilia has, right? And right, slow it down, Let them ride it. Let them get a feel for the bike they're riding instead of just bringing, hey, we got 9 chassis. We need to test this in 3 days. You're confused.
Exactly.
Right?
Dude's on a
I'd
different bike every week.
Right. It's like, I forgot what
this?
felt good, what didn't. It's like, come on, man. They would prosper better if they would just slow it down and develop it a little bit more slowly, right?
Absolutely. And I want KTM to do well. Since Suzuki is on its way out, Factory KTM is a team that I'm going to be watching now because I love Brad Binder. I love WB33. That guy's a beast.
Brad Binder is a beast. 100% agree.
Also, another guy who doesn't complain when shit doesn't go his way. Like,
no, he does not.
It's true. The guy
smiles.
He's real dude.
Yeah.
Down to earth, real cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I hope to meet him one day. Now, with all that being said, with all the moves that are going to be taking place, in the beginning of the season, me and Andy were talking about riders that were potentially on the chopping block. And one of the riders that I brought up to the limelight was Johan Zarco. I thought Zarco was going to go by the end of the season. But we are seeing a resurgence, and he's the guy that I believe was a rider this weekend. I think Zarco is having this, like I said, this resurgence. He's coming out of nowhere and just alive. He's alive. And I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe that 20. I'm assuming he's riding the 21 bike, right? The bike that's like nearly perfect.
Yeah.
It's great. I love seeing Zarco. I think he definitely will probably be staying at Pramac next year. So I'm glad that he's proving me wrong so far.
Yeah, Zarco is staying at Pramac next year. Absolutely.
100%. Did we know if there was like a contract renewal for him or?
No news yet, but I don't see him moving either. I agree with Kris.
Yeah, because I thought he was gonna go. I was like, man, he's not performing well. But
at the beginning of the year, I agree with you. I was like, man, Zarco's probably going to lose the seat, but he's got good momentum going. And one thing you don't ever hear is Ducati talk about it.
No, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You don't ever hear Ducati talk about him ever.
No, they are happy. They are Ducati's team right now, and I'm talking from factory. Other than Jack Miller, let's include Jack Miller. From factory all the way to Mooney is like they love their roster. Like you don't hear Ducati talking bad about anybody in their roster. It seems like everybody's is in sync. Everyone's good, but it's not like you don't hear chatter from from Ducati, just like Yamaha, where everyone's complaining about the freaking bike. Fabio's the only one that can ride this bike. Which comes to my next point. Is that Yamaha bike as bad of a bike as what everyone says it is?
No, I really don't think it is. I think that it's the same bike as it always has been, right? It's a sweet handling bike. That's what it's been known for. It's always been. So Yamaha does what it does best is it makes up its lap times in the corners, not on the straight. So if I'm faster in every corner, but you're just faster on these 2 straights, but I got 9 corners and I'm faster at them, who's going to win the race? The Yamaha, the sweeter handling bike, right?
Especially in Sachsenring, where it's all just left-hand curves.
Especially Sachsenring, right? Absolutely.
Oh, we're going to have fun in sexy ring, guys. We're going to have fun.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I agree with Kris. I mean, like, just the bike just turns better. You don't need to be that top speed. That's why, some races Ducati's much better and stronger at other ones, So, and Fabio's doing a great job, with the bike. Mm-hmm. And apparently that contract has already been signed and archived. They just didn't publish it. And I think other contracts are.
You're talking about the Fabio extension.
Yeah, But other riders probably already had, like KTM and Jack Miller. That was already a done deal, and maybe the Miguel Oliveira also. Maybe they came up to agreement already also, but we don't know. But everything is early, guys. Everything is early.
Yeah, we still have quite a bit of races left in the season, and I keep forgetting because there's so much drama that we've had in a few months that we had the last few years. It's insane, and it makes me wonder why MotoGP Unlimited is so terrible. So with all this drama going on, season 2 better be great. Now, I've only been in the sport for a couple of years, right? And from what I've been seeing from Valentino Rossi to Lorenzo, the Yamahas are a championship winning bike. Is Yamaha going through the same phase as Repsol where they only built a bike for Fabio to ride? Or is it just that he's just so far above all the other Yamaha talent that they just can't keep up?
Me, I think they're like Honda. I think they put all their eggs in one basket. Because think about it, when Fabio first come in, right? He was like Zarco when he first come in, right? He was podiums and super fast straight away, right? And then not only that,
on
he won races on a Petronas, almost won the title, right? And so now you got this star that's come up. Now he's on a factory team. Of course, who you gonna listen to over everybody else? Fabio, right? Even though Morbidelli was second in the championship.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. Morbidelli was just a hair or tick off of Fabio when they first started, and then all of a sudden, Andy, Morbidelli got injured 2020, 2021.
19 or before the COVID.
Oh, it was before that. It was before COVID.
Before the COVID, he got injured in his knee or something like that. But guys, let me just let's go back, because we are having right now we're having like probably history in the making, okay? Because back in the day, only factory rides used to be champions, okay?
Oh yes, yeah.
It's the first B team that's gonna probably take over, that being Enea, being the first satellite rider to be a champion. That's gonna be history
if he can pull that off.
Absolutely.
Oh
absolutely.
my God.
You need a factory bike to win championships.
Now with that being said, Andy, I want to ask you guys, do we need let me see if I can word this right. Is the factory team really necessary for a winning career with everything that's going on right now with the resurgent satellites? Or is it just Ducati's there's just a lot of bikes and Ducati has a lot of data, and maybe that's why the satellite teams are really good? Are we seeing like a new age of satellite teams are now a threat, or is it just a Ducati thing?
Hey, Jules, I think when we see the first satellite team that, we don't have a factory team, like if, let's say, Aprilia only has a satellite team, then we can probably talk about that. But
right.
Till then, factory always first, and that's why we have a satellite team.
To bring up-and-comer riders and to develop, correct.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys think maybe in like 5 years, satellite teams would be like a threat? Because I don't know if it's a Ducati thing, but Pramac is a threat.
We might have that at the end of this season, bro. I can't wait. I'm excited to see it.
I know. Me too.
With a satellite next season, what?
Mm-hmm. But it's up to the other manufacturers to catch up, though, because right now we're only seeing Ducati satellites perform well. The Yamaha satellites are doing terrible. Although I like Darren Binder. I think Darren Binder's doing great. Davi can get booted out to MotoAmerica or whatever.
Absolutely.
We would love him here. Don't get me wrong. We would love Davi
we
here.
would too. Yeah,
holy
absolutely.
Shit. He'd probably have a better attitude than Petrucci. Damn.
Probably.
And I also wanted to bring up Joan Mir he didn't officially sign a contract with Repsol, right? But the speculation is 89% there.
I agree.
Will we see him perform decent on that bike next year, or is he making a wrong career decision right now?
Massive suicide.
Yeah. Agree.
Massive suicide.
I have to agree with Kris. Anything that any rider trying to jump on a Honda, even though that the reputation of Repsol is so huge, it's kind of scary.
And that goes back to what Kris said about putting all your eggs in one basket, is that you don't have a plan B, C, or D, right?
Yeah.
You built this bike around Marc Marquez, who's obviously one of the greatest riders to ever freaking do it. But the way you do that is that you shoot yourself in the foot for any other talent that tries to come up, because we've put good riders on that Honda bike, but nobody can ride that thing.
They don't feel confident because Marc Marquez feels that front end he enjoys it to be kind of loose.
Yeah.
And the other riders, Jorge Lorenzo wasn't like that.
No, he's too smooth. Control.
Yeah. Right.
Butter
and hammer.
Yeah. Well, Lorenzo is actually my favorite racer of all time. Like I love watching those battles between Rossi and Lorenzo. It was so good.
They were great battles, especially Catalunya 2009.
I'll watch that. I'll watch that then.
You'll have to watch that.
So let's talk Aprilia. Obviously, heartbreaker with Aleix Espargaro, but we're already over that. It's still, like Andy said, it's still surprisingly early still in the season. God, I feel like we're almost done, but we're nowhere near done.
What a stupid mistake that was, huh?
That was. Don't they have a lap counter on their dash? By the way, 10 minutes, gentlemen.
No, that's what you got. Timer guy that comes out to the side of the track.
Yeah, but isn't it in front of you too? Like, isn't it on your little?
I think there's a little section. Yeah, that gives you the lap.
It pops up on the dash. Yeah, it pops up on the dash.
There's a lot of stuff there, dude.
You know what? It is what it is. I'm confident that Aleix is going to bounce back from this, especially now that he has like an even more emotional chip on his shoulder. WTF of the month, right? Maverick signing a 2-year deal with Aprilia. What? Why?
Yeah, Aprilia,
why?
You know, give him the time to develop, and they feel comfortable with him.
But Maverick is doing the same thing he did with factory Yamaha and complaining that bike is not working for him. Like we're seeing this again.
We'll see what happens.
I agree. Like Maverick shot himself in the foot when he come out and said that, you know, he would be willing to talk to other teams before he signed this new 2-year extension with Aprilia, right? So to me, I think Maverick Vinales, it's all in his head and it's mental. If he would get out his own head, he would be right back to where he was before.
Right. And before I started disliking Maverick, he was actually, when he was in factory Yamaha, he was like my dark horse. Like he was that guy that I thought, like, when he has all the pieces together, he's the fastest guy on that track.
Yeah, you can't touch him.
It just seems that he's just the drive isn't there. I feel like he's not as motivated. He doesn't look alive, and it sucks because I did at one point really like this dude.
Maybe he was focusing on other things. He got into a fight on the internet.
No fucking way.
He did get in a fight on the internet.
Wait, hold on. Wait. I didn't hear this. Wait, what do you mean he got into a fight?
With a fan.
Yeah,
because he said same shit I did.
He went on Twitter.
Yeah, it was on Twitter. That's right.
Yeah, he went on Twitter and got into an argument, like a back and forth debate about how fast he really is or whatever. But
then prove it.
Well, Aprilia apparently has not unlocked all the features of his bike.
Hasn't unlocked all the features.
Quote something about like I'm only at 50% of my capabilities. Just wait until we get into the middle of the season. I'll show you what I can do. So yeah, he was going back and forth on Twitter. That was kind of funny to read.
So are we going to see funny. Are we going to see a Top Gun at Saxon Ring, or are we going to see a man down?
I think that at Saxon Ring, he has a potential to be top 15, maybe make it in the top 10, maybe. So depending on where his headspace is.
Right. He'll qualify great. He'll just finish bad in the race.
Yeah. So what is it? What is it? He does so well in practice, and he does so well in qualifying. Like anytime Andy sends me the charts, the timing charts, I'm like, oh my God, Maverick, wow. And then
he's fast.
Yeah. And then race day just
can't manage the race.
But the thing is, he can. And we've seen him do it.
I mean, he also says he has a problem when his gas tank's full of gas at the beginning of the race. Don't handle like it does, which, you know, I mean, that's what everybody says. But you know what? You only hear nobody else crying about it.
Oh, my Lord. Man, I think I don't know. I personally, regardless of what I feel about him, I still want to see him do well.
Yeah,
I would love to see him do well.
I still think he's that sleeping beast that just refuses to wake up for some odd reason.
I agree.
So with that being said, Sachsenring is coming up. Now I know you guys like to wait till free practice to make your podium choices, but we have 5.5 minutes left. So I want to go start with Andy. Andy, who before free practice, who do you think is your top 3 podium right now?
At Sachsenring, I see
Sachsenring. Mark.
I see Fabio taking off, and I see the Suzuki's probably not too far behind them.
So who do you have? Fabio, Mir, then Rins? Or
Fabio,
Rins?
No, Rins will always crash or something will happen.
Screw you, man.
I don't know. Guys, we don't know. Has
the injuries,
hand. So, or fractured most bones in his hand. So he might not race in Sachsenring.
But assuming that everything assuming that everything goes according to plan, you think we're going to see all inline 4s on the podium, Andy?
Yes. Hey, I'm sorry guys, because my phone goes off. I just got a message right now saying that Dovizioso might not return after summer break. Just rumors. I get messages like this all the time.
Yeah,
we'll say that then. Kris, who do you have as podium without free practice knowledge?
Well, last year it was Marquez, Oliveira, and Morbidelli on the podium. Mm-hmm. I don't see Morbidelli on the podium at all. If I'm just going to go on a whim off the top of my head with my feelers out, I'm going to say it's going to be – I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say Fabio, Pecco Bagnaia, and Alicia Spargo.
Okay, interesting. So we're keeping Alicia up there. I'm gonna go Fabio. I'm gonna go Pecco, even though it's not really a Ducati strength track, but Pecco is on a tear, and I'm gonna go with the Beast on third. With my X factors, I agree with Andy. My X factors would be the inline 4s, the Suzuki's, or Johan Zarco. I don't think Martin's gonna have the pace for this one. It's just my personal opinion.
From her surgery, yes.
Yeah. If there's anybody that I think could catch up, it's either the Suzuki's, assuming their hands are fine or whatever, and Zarco, because Zarco's just been on a tear, and of course Alicia Spargo. But you already have Alicia Spargo on your podium. But those are my dark horses. I know you guys didn't mention like an X factor. Who you guys think might outside of your podium?
Okay, my X factor is definitely Bastianini. He's always going to be in mine.
Yes.
I would say Bastianini, and honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb in this, and I'm gonna go with Brad Binder.
Let's go!
Yeah, I'm going with Brad Binder.
Andy, X factor.
Hey, I just wanted everybody picking Alex Espargaro for third. Is he ever going to get another podium?
I know. I hope so. I hope he wins the title.
I want him.
My phone's going off like crazy with this Dovizioso news, but I'll probably go with Binder. Binder's good, man.
As your X factor. Interesting.
Strong rider. When he rode with that wing, when Sarko ripped that wing off, man, he rode the entire race like that. Okay,
they got top 10.
He won a race. Flicks.
No excuses. No excuses from the South African.
None.
The dude is gotta keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
Now, guys, we're gonna be back. We're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna go to MotoAmerica because there's a lot of exciting stuff that's been happening at MotoAmerica. See you guys in a sec. Moving on to MotoAmerica, I guess we're going to be talking about the Superbike class. We were at Road America, right?
Yes,
correct, in Wisconsin,
right?
Which is a fabulous track. Oh my God, that track is so sweet.
Yes.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't. I've been there in the video game, and I suck so bad at that track.
Yeah, I was actually there. I actually did mechanic work for Chris Lilligard where he raced in
Shout
the
out
twins
Kris.
class in 2019. So they flew me around to all the races in MotoAmerica, and I turned wrenches for him. And that was by far my favorite track.
Interesting.
Road America is beautiful.
Road America is great. I like Indy.
I heard huge track, and you need a golf cart to get around.
You do. No, you do. Absolutely. But that's what makes it so spectacular, too, because there's so many great viewing points, and it's just such a great atmosphere. It's just one of those things you really got to actually be there to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
Now remind me, because I don't I left my notebook in the car. I don't have my notes in front of me for MotoAmerica, but for race 1, who did we have for podium? Was it
Schultz won the race.
Scholz? Yeah, Scholzy.
Yeah, Schultz won the race. Who was second?
Let me see.
I think
was
it Petrucci was second?
Yeah, I think it was Petrucci.
Gagne was third, maybe. Gagne was third.
Race, guys.
I know Cam won the second race.
Yes, he did win the second race, which is good because I like Cam. Cam's a good rider.
Cam Peterson is such a nice guy, man. Like
he is such an approachable guy too. Dude, I mean, he really is. So
approachable. Like I met him for my first time in 2000. I think it was 2021. I want to say it was 2021. And I approached him because he was dominating the stock 1000 class. And this is my first time ever, like, approaching somebody that you've been watching, right?
Right.
And this dude, regardless of how busy he is, regardless of what is going on in his head, regardless of what's going on in his garage, he made time to speak to me and my boy. He actually gave me a signed visor. It's actually in my glass case right now. And I remember him telling me, he pointed at, I think it was the Attack Yamaha garage. I remember him pointing at it. He was like, I want that right there. Look where he's at now.
That's it. He got it
in 2 years' time.
Well, I wish all riders like that were approachable, but I'll tell you who was not is Petrucci.
Oh, please.
Really?
Please get into it, please.
So Petrucci was a sad soul at VIR. I'm sure Andy's probably already told you.
Mm-hmm.
He was not. He was approachable, but he was not conversational. Right? He just kind of smiled, but you could see past the smile. Right? You could see in his body language like he wasn't happy, and he really didn't want to be there. But I managed to get me and my buddy Andy some signed autographs, some signed e-pucks from him. Right?
Yep. I saw that picture.
Unfortunately, he's sad, and I hate to see him in that situation. Jay Gagne is really approachable. Now he's really cool.
Such a cool guy.
He's very cool. A lot of people don't like Josh Herron, but he's a pretty good approachable guy too. He really Matthew Schultz is the bomb, 100%.
Yes. I was telling Andy about this when I was in Jersey, that I can't catch up to Schultz. Like, I cannot stop him to talk to him because he's always on a moped, just like zooming, doing wheelies or whatever. I'm just like, let me talk. You're the only rider that I can't talk to. Herron is a little, for me as well. I think he's a little bit of a. This is a little bit of a, Cam, amazing. Gagne, amazing. Boz, I met Loris Boz last year, and he was
me too.
Okay, more approachable than Petrucci, I'll tell you that.
Boz, I met Loris Boz, obviously his only year in MotoAmerica. I went Friday morning. I was there about 10:30-ish. I walked straight up to him in the pits. Started conversating with, hey, man, I've been a big fan. World Superbike. I started going through all this stuff. We conversated for a minute, and then he pulled off his 2 knee sliders off his leather suit, signs them both, and gives them to me.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would have loved it.
So Boss to me was really cool, super laid back. I had a great conversation with him, and he was really super enthusiastic about being here, but his heart wasn't set on being here. His heart was still back in World Superbike where he is now.
Of course. But while he was here, he made the most He made the most of this experience, and he welcomed us with open arms.
Open arms. I mean? Unlike Petrucci, unfortunately, because I'm a huge Petrucci fan, man. It's just
I know you are.
You're gonna bash our series, and it's just like, oh my god, I just want to fall up in a corner and be like, really?
You're probably the most paid out of all the guys there. Andy, you look like you're about to say something. What are you about to
say? I was gonna say that type of behavior is what wins, fans.
Exactly wins your fans, right? I mean, come on, man. You got to be,
So I have the results here. So we have Matthew Skoltz, who won the race. Petrucci was second, and third, former MotoGP rider Hector Barbera.
Woo! Great race by Barbera. Great race on the BMW. I was so ecstatic for him. Yes, absolutely proud of him. 100%.
Do you guys think with people like Tony Elias, Hector Barbera, like former MotoGP at one point, for anyone coming here from another country, do you think it helps ease their minds just a little bit? Like when Baz came over here and he saw Hector Barbera, he saw Tony Elias. Do you think that like their mental is like, oh, okay. I mean, like MotoAmerica is not, totally bad. We still have people who were in the big leagues at one point competing here.
I think.
Do you think Petrucci has like this mentality where it's like, you know what? I don't care who they are. I don't freaking belong here. Like this isn't me.
Let me tell you. I read some news about Danilo Petrucci, but before I give you news, I want to think that it's kind of sort of like going to high school, like to a brand new high school that you've never been, but you only know one buddy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only person that you know. So you typically hang out just with that one person. So maybe he feels a little bit. I saw Danilo Petrucci with Kris, and I noticed him a little bit deflated and upset. But that's possibly due to the crash that he had on race 1. Me and Kris saw him on Sunday, and he had crashed on a Saturday. So it could have been possible that, he was upset about that. And and I also had a conversation with one of his mechanics, and we talked a lot about the track and track safety and things like that. And then happened that Sunday where you had Danilo Petrucci got into the really nice accident, and he claims that he was down for a certain amount of time, those are not true times. Accurate. He might have adjusted some numbers and stuff like that, but he feels that we're probably not as safe, and the tracks that he visits here in America is not as safe as the ones over in Italy. So he probably feels a little homesick or some sort of disconnection or distance or something like that. Something's going on, Now I read today I posted something from GP1.com that it mentioned something about that WSBK Ducati might be
interested in Petrucci.
Yeah, I'm leaving some room for Petrucci to make the move. So obviously not comfortable in America, and he most likely go back to WSBK. So
they have to find somebody for Rinaldi to go to. Rinaldi will have to go somewhere.
Right. Now, but before we get into that, with what I asked you guys earlier, so we don't think that having people who are formerly like on top, or not on top, but like competing in the highest level here in MotoAmerica, you don't think it kind of eases the conscience of some of these international racers?
You're comfortable because you've seen this person in European tracks, and you say hello and stuff like that.
But it's not enough to.
I'm not sure, Jules. I mean, this is a good question. I mean, I think this is a great question when you and I link up over in New Jersey and Pittsburgh to ask these questions directly to the riders and see how they feel. I honestly don't know, but I want to guess that it's like when you go up to a brand new school and you don't know half of the other students, but you only know that one kid, and you typically hang out with just that one person until you make friends with others.
I don't even think Petrucci hangs out with anybody.
He does. He doesn't. I spoke in Virginia to one of his mechanics, and he said that Danilo Petrucci kind of keeps it to himself, and he lives over in Spokane, Pennsylvania.
Spokane, yeah.
And apparently from what I have read in reports, this town is very Italian friendly, and there's a lot of Italian families there. But when I talk to the mechanic that's also Italian and living with Danilo Petrucci in that hometown, he says that it's not the same, that they do miss home. And it's he's homesick. I think he's homesick.
Yeah. Kris?
It's different from coming from you racing on European racetrack versus American racetracks, right? Because we're a whole new ballgame. The only A1 ring we have in America is COTA. That's it. Every other racetrack we have in America, right? Barely A1. So every racetrack we have in America is not even deemed safe for MotoGP or World Superbike.
Hey,
so.
I'm glad that you said that and not me, because I've been debating with my wife about making a report about how
10 minutes, boys.
The tracks are different compared to Europe to here, and how when Danilo Petrucci arrived to America, how he felt seeing these tracks that he had to go and race in. It must have been an adjustment for him. And a lot of Americans say, hey, this is what separates the men from the boys. But I mean, it does separate the men from the boys. That's true, yes. But it gives that little level of danger. It just gets a little high.
You're right, Andy. But the tracks of Europe versus America are completely different as far as the runoff, the surface, how wide it is. I mean, it's a whole new world, right?
Yes.
I wish Petrucci was happier.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't prepare for going from there to here unless you was to travel over here and do track days at every track that he was going to be at.
Which he gets a shit ton of testing, by the way, and it was confirmed. It was confirmed through one of the top Superbike riders that Petrucci has the most practice laps out of all of them.
He does. Which he needs, right? Because you're new and you come to America, you need that time.
In order to that promotion. We need that promotion.
You need it all, right? Yeah. We need it all, right? Yeah. Right. So.
Now, with that being said, like I said, if I was in Petrucci's place, somebody who's coming from like using that high school mentality that the high school analogy that Andy said, I would find like just for myself, for my own mental, I would find the person like closest to what I've been through and stick with them. But it seems that Petrucci again is just not sold on being here. He's not sold on building relationships with any other riders. That's what it looks like to me. So I want him to stay. I think he's good for our league.
Yes, I agree.
And I think he's good for our sport.
Yeah, and it's pushing everybody. It's literally pushing everybody. Everyone's running tighter lines. Skoltz, we have. Oh no, okay. So Skoltz, I think, crashed out a race too. Skoltz is on this dude's ass like every race. He's on Petrucci's ass, and it's so good to see because, man, we haven't had racing like that in MotoAmerica for quite a bit, and it's so good to watch. Andy, you became a fan at the perfect time because if you were to watch last year, and this is not taking anything from any racer, but last year was a boring season. Gagne crashes. Gagne. Like that's what the season was last year. This season, it is so much more entertaining. Pressure to Rise is so good. I don't know if you guys watched that documentary.
So I'll watch it. Absolutely, 100%. It is so fucking good. God
so
damn,
good.
It's great. Yes,
MotoGP, take notes. What the hell
no
was MotoGP
shit, Unlimited? What are you
was
doing, man?
Terrible.
Terrible. Dude, it was horrible.
Oh my god.
Dude, we could have done a better job than that.
I could have filmed it from my phone. It would have been more dramatic. Gentlemen, we have 6.5 minutes.
All three of us could have went to every race and made a much better documentary. 100% agree.
Now, with 6.5 minutes left,
let me take a minute. Let me take a minute and say, because Jules, you said we have 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand today is 6/9.
I want to say thank you for Nikki Hayden.
Yes,
100%. Nicky Hayden's been one of my favorite riders besides Valentino. I named my son Hayden Rossi Simco after Nicky Hayden and Valentino Rossi. Sick. We call him Rossi. And Hayden, I've met Hayden numerous times. I got a bunch of Hayden helmets and books signed by him and his family. And I reach out to Jackie on the thing and tell her, all my family. Actually, when Rossi was born, that Thanksgiving, my son was born November 19th, 2012. The 27th, I hit Nicky Hayden up with a tweet and said, "Hey, I just had my son. I named him Hayden after you." And he replied, "Awesome. Tell your little man I said happy Thanksgiving."
Dude.
My heart.
What a
nice guy. What a guy.
That's what wins hearts and minds. That's how you build fans.
Not Petrucci being in the pits. I miss this. I miss that.
I'll be like, just say you can't handle it. Just say you can't handle it.
Just go home. Go home. Go back to the car.
Hey, listen. We got America complete. The whole America saying Petrucci go home. Everybody's saying the same.
Dude,
shit.
the boys here are not going to take it easy on them. Like we're gonna make it freaking rough. And speaking of rough, even though Petrucci hit podium, race 2. Let's touch on race 2 real quick. We have Cam Peterson, my boy, who won.
Bravo.
And number 2, guys. I don't know where your knowledge is with this, Andy, but number 2, PJ Jacobsen in the Tytler's BMW.
Glad to see PJ back. Glad to see him back.
PJ used to ride Ducati, right? Andy for reference. And PJ was a very talented racer. And when Warhorse started their Ducati team, they were looking for riders. And I said that PJ Jacobsen should have taken that seat. Instead, they picked out this guy from Italy who's a Ducati test rider. His name was Lorenzo Zanetti. And Lorenzo Zanetti is great.
Great.
But he was only there for the last race to test that V4, right? Now, for the season after, Warhorse posted who should be our next rider. And I just kept tagging PJ Jacobsen. We're bringing Loris Baz. Oh, fuck. Like, all right, I guess. Loris Baz leaves. Who's our next rider? I'm like, PJ Jacobsen. Danilo Petrucci. Okay. Now PJ's in BMW with a chip on his shoulder, and I'm so happy that I saw him with the second place.
He got a podium. Yes, I'm with you, dude. North, I am with you. I think that a lot of that had to do with promoting MotoAmerica, saying, "Hey, we got ex-GP rider, ex-World Superbike rider coming to our market."
Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Nothing wrong.
But
anything to help us.
Yeah, I agree 100%, but I'm with you. PJ Jacobsen is a beast.
He's a monster.
And he deserved the ride, and he didn't get it, unfortunately, whether it was political, money, sponsors, whatever goes along with it. Unfortunately, he didn't get it, but I am glad. I am with you. My man was on the podium. Yes, sir. 100%.
Yeah, PJ Jacobsen, which means, Andy, you got to keep watching because you never know. Hector, that's 2 for BMW now. Hector Barbera and then PJ Jacobsen.
Yeah, I have to give out a shout out to my man Kyle Wyman. Okay, Kyle Wyman. Kyle Wyman was he rode that bike and put it on the podium the first time.
Yes,
put it on the podium.
Yes, he did. That I forgot about that. Thank God you reminded me.
Amazing.
Gentlemen, we have 2 minutes left. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say it was just an amazing ride, an amazing performance from somebody that come from running his own team, managing his own team, and then being the rider for that team, right? Versus going to, all I got to do is focus on riding, and look what he did.
Yep. It was a lot of weight lifted off Kyle Wyman's shoulders. Like he to me, I think he definitely deserves a Superbike ride, but having the responsibility 100%. Of managing teams, also racing King of the Baggers it's a lot. It's a lot on his plate, and I'm so glad. And I saw how emotional he got. Now we got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Closing statement, Chris. Anything you want to say?
Guys,
real quick.
I really appreciate you guys having me on this podcast. It's been
a pleasure, brother.
It's been a dream, and I look forward to doing this again and having these conversations.
Oh, we will. Andy?
Glad to have you, Kris. We definitely you're definitely welcome back next season. I wanna show this off. We don't got too much time. Yandel was supposed to be in a little party going on at high school. Hey, buddy, I hope you had a good time. Shout out to you. Kris, thank you, man. Thank you for coming. You. Always welcome back. Jules,
hell yeah.
See you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. And Andy cut out for a bit, but thank you guys for listening. Thank you for showing up to our podcast. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Any criticism is good criticism. Again, leave us a like, subscribe. We're going to have more guests on the show. We're definitely going to have Kris back. So for everyone who's watching and tuning in, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you guys.